I love that you're asking me this question because there are definitely ways that you can find this out, but you are emotionally intelligent enough to know that you don't want to be overly blunt with this. You also don't want this to be the first question you ask. Let me let you in on a little secret. When they say, "Do you have any questions for us?" the very first question you ask tells a lot about you. So I'll give you an example. I was hiring at one point and I had two candidates. The first candidate came in, and when I said, "Do you have any questions for me?" she said, "Yeah, what's it pay?" Meanwhile, the pay was posted in the job description. So that told me the only thing she cared about was the money. The second person came in and I said, "Do you have any questions for me?" And she said, "Yes. Can you tell me how this job will impact the success of the organization as a whole? How will I know that I'm doing a good job?" Very thoughtful question. She's thinking about, okay, I want to understand how to create value so I can be successful. Now, that was a strategic question on her part, but yeah, I loved it. So now that we know that, when it's your turn to ask questions, after you've asked a few strategic questions, you would transition into a question like, can you tell me about your company's, strategies on work-life balance? Can you tell me or give me some examples around how the company ensures work-life balance? That's a totally fair, positive question. Okay, it's making the assumption that they support work-life balance. You could also say, can you tell me the company's policies on working outside the normal hours? For example, will I be expected to work nights outside or weekends? Can you walk me through those expectations? So again, you can ask that question, all right? So it's about finessing the question, but still being honest and just making sure that those aren't the very first questions that you ask. And I think once you do that, they'll be able to share it. Now, I say this, and I know a lot of people are going to comment this, they can say whatever they want. So they could lie to you in this interview. So my advice is, if you get a lot further along in the process and you're still wondering this, ask to speak to a peer. Say, but if you get the job offer in particular and you haven't met any of your coworkers, you should say, "I'm really excited about this job and I want to accept on the spot, but I was hoping to really talk to somebody that would be my peer and also just get a sense from them if there's anything else I'm missing that I need to ask." Right? So that way you can talk to them and you really want to gauge that. You want to ask that peer, "Can you tell me about work-life balance here? Do you find yourself having to work nights or weekends very often? If so, what are the circumstances? What can I expect?" And that peer can be more forthcoming with you. And if they're not forthcoming, you can usually read people. You can usually tell if they're like hiding something. So, again, find the right spot to ask it in the interview. Ask it, frame it in a way that, isn't too negative, I guess, which I was trying to coach you on. And then most importantly, if you're still not getting the right vibe, ask to meet other people in the organization, ask to meet your peers, and then ask them those same questions and pay attention to how they respond. This is how we start to really look under the hood of a company, figure out what's going on, okay? And then finally, obviously, there are websites you can go to that have anonymous reviews of companies and what it's like to work there. Make sure you visit those as well. But do your homework. Be careful. I get it. You don't want to be sucked in. We've all had this happen to us where we get into an organization, it's not what we expect. So these are the types of questions we do want to ask in the interview, but we want to find our way to frame them. And I'm thrilled that you asked this. If this helped you folks, will you help me back? Like and follow me here and ask your questions just like this great person did. I'm here every day on this app trying to give you the free advice you need to get ahead. Good luck. Go get them.